Hello, my name's Rufus and I'm a technical animator, and in this video I'm going to do a walkthrough of a tool I made for creating a skeleton in Maya, and it also helps keep tabs on naming conventions and formatting. So to explain what it does, I'm going to walk through its features from top to bottom. So to start off with, you can assign your character a unique name. I'm going to call this guy, say, Denny Different. Why be Denny Different? And then after that, I'm going to assign a side naming convention to differentiate between left and right. So L would be L for left, and R would be R for right, and so on and so forth. So there are a few different examples, like left, or capital left, or lowercase left. And then prefix would be left underscore ankle, and if I chose suffix, that would be ankle underscore left. And then after that, perhaps there might be some name dependencies in a project. So root might need the name root bone applied, something like that in camel case. And let's say pelvis was uppercase, and let's choose some other examples like camel case names for upper leg, and lower leg might be knee. And then instead of finger, we're going to call the fingers digits. I'm not going to do all of them. This is just to give an idea of what this does. And once you're happy with your naming conventions, press save. And if I update the list, here's our Denny Different data with the date, and it's saved to a JSON file. And let's say I wanted to update the naming conventions. I'll make some changes, such as lowercase pelvis, and let's call this thigh, something like that. And so I'll change the arms to camel case, and the lower arm as well. And let's change a couple of these back to finger, or actually let's call them all finger, just to be consistent. Fun stuff. And if I save that, I get the opportunity to either overwrite, create new, or cancel. And I'm going to press create new, and then if I update it, I've now got two sets of Denny Different data, which I can update like that. And just for one last example, I can change the character's unique name. Say, let's go for a woman's name, Sarah Sun, and change the convention to, let's say, left, and suffix that, and change the names. Let's say let's do a lowercase with underscore, upper leg, and then lower leg, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. And then save that. If I update the list, now I've got Sarah Sun's data here, and you can flick between them. And once you're happy with the naming conventions, it's time to create a template which makes this kind of marker set for a biped character. And if I just turn on X-ray, you'll see that the marker set fits this mesh incredibly snugly, and there's a reason for that. It's not just because I'm trying to do some dodgy tutorial, I promise. It's because this this mesh is, I think it's from ZBrush, and it's one of the default meshes used for character artists for sculpting their characters over the top of it. So a lot of character artists will use this as a base, and what better place for a rigger to get their default dimensions from the same place as character artists. So that explains that. But in order to explain what this tool does a bit more, I'm just going to move some pivots around, give that a bit of scaling perhaps, and rotation. Actually, let's take that scaling up a bit and move the elbow back to give it more of a bend. And rather than rotate the whole thing, I'm just going to take the shoulder and embed it into the shoulder a little bit more. Let's take the clavicle right down like that, and I'm just going to squash the spine markers all the way down to the lower back, because that's where that's where we bend our backs. And the same thing for the leg. I'm just going to move the knee into position, just like that. And once that's done, I'll just move the head. And once that's done, I'll mirror the markers from left to right, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Or let's say I'm not happy with the positioning of the legs, I'll change the right leg, and then I can mirror these across to the left, mirror right to left like that. And after you're happy with the position of the markers, you can choose a suffix for the joint names. So say something like bind if you're applying skinning data to the joints. I'm not going to do any skinning in this tutorial, but it just explains the function of what the joints are for. And after that, say some extra joints in the spine, 3 twist joints per upper and lower limb, and maybe a couple of extra joints in the neck, and press create joints. Here are our character joints here, and they've all been labeled with the right naming conventions. And as you can see, none of the joints are put into the hierarchy of the character, and this is because these are the joint chains for orienting. This doesn't have any sort of orientation function, so at this point this would be a good point to either make adjustments to the guide markers like so. That's a very small adjustment. Let's do a, oh no, that's the twist joint. Let's do a much bigger. Actually, I can just delete those joints and make a much bigger adjustment to the markers like that. And let's say I wanted less joints in the spine. Say one less twist joint and just one joint for the neck, and then create those. I didn't actually mirror that marker across, so I'm going to delete those and then mirror left to right, and then create those joints again. That's a good way of kind of creating joints in a very short space of time. And as far as applying naming conventions go, let's say I'm not happy with these names, I can delete these joints and then choose another set of naming conventions, update the template, and then create joints again. And these are my new joint names here. So yeah, that's my skeleton designer for Maya. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.